All right, my philosophy 1500 course. I'm going to start off and I'm going to be straightforward and very blunt. Week one discussions were horrible. This is college. Now, I know that you're freshmen, most of you, and you're just starting your experience. So use this as an educational opportunity that will help shape your academic writing for the remainder of your life. I want to see each of you grow and succeed. But if I sugarcoat things, then you're not going to learn. I don't recall seeing anybody in their discussions, including any APA 7 citations and references. Because remember, in APA 7, you have to use both citations and references. It's not one or the other. Anytime you write information that came from a source other than what's between your own ears, and so that's original ideas, anything else, if you're getting it from a source, you must cite it and reference it using APA 7. That may mean that every single sentence has a citation and you've got three or four or five references. Not a problem. My dissertation, I'd have 20, 30 citations per page, and I had 22, 24 pages of references with about 15 on each page. So you see where I'm going at here. I'm not wanting you to do like I did identically in my PhD program because you're not working on your PhD, you're working on an undergrad degree. But if you are using information from a source, if you're going to talk about, well, this week it would be utilitarianism, you're going to need to give me a definition. Use the textbook, use the textual material to help you present an example, give a definition of it, and then you go into your personal experience. Your personal experiences have nothing to do with philosophy unless you tie it back to philosophy. And you can only do that through providing definitions and examples and different theories and concepts from the textbook. And in order to do that, you must substantiate every claim you make. And we do that through citations and references. A claim that is not substantiated with a source is an assumption. And we don't deal with assumptions like that in our work. We make assumptions, and that's where we get our hypothesis from, our research question, if you will. But then after that, we don't want assumptions. We want facts. This is academic writing. I posted a video in week one on APA 7 and academic writing. Watch it. I give you resources that you can use to help you with your citations and your references because every reference or source type in APA 7 is formatted just a little differently. So it's really tricky, but it's really easy to do. And all you got to do is use the Clear University Library's APA 7 and writing page. It has these drop down menus that you can use, step by step instructions. It's easy. You see, when I was working on my undergrad years ago, nobody taught me how to use any citation system. It was when I was working on my first master's degree when we actually had a class that taught us how to use the Chicago Turabian formatting style for citations and references. When I continued into a whole different field, because I'm a subject matter expert in two different fields, I had to learn APA 7, or at that time, APA 6, on my own. I had to read the manual. Then it became APA 7 because there were updates, and I had to learn those updates. Now, I'm not needing for you to buy the manual and to read it like I did, because I'm giving you all these wonderful sources that are available, these resources, to be able to do it. But you have to do the work. This class does not have a lecture component to it. I do these little videos to help you out, but it's up to you to read the material. It's up to you to figure out how to do your citations according to APA 7 guidelines, which I know quite well. So if I seem a little stern this week, it's because I'm very disappointed in the discussions from last week. And I believe that each of you can do much better. As a matter of fact, by the time we finish with this 116-week course, I hope to have you already becoming stronger, more proficient academic writers. I would love to see that. And I hate failing students, but to be honest, I have failed students, and those are the ones that don't actually give more than the bare minimum. Actually, the bare minimum, I mean, you'll probably get barely a passing C. But the people that fail, they're the ones that do less than the minimum. They're the ones that don't try. They're the ones that never reference anything. They're the ones that don't attend when you got to show up for attendance. Thankfully, in this class, there is no attendance, so you're okay on that. They're the ones that are habitually late on turning in their assignments. And I don't want to see that happen to any of you. I want to see each of you succeed. Now, this week, we're going to be talking, or you're going to be learning about utilitarianism and a number of other ideas and concepts and philosophical ways of thinking. But utilitarianism, I wanted to focus on during our little brief video this week. Basically, in a nutshell, it is making a decision in a way that will do the greatest good for the greatest amount of people. That's the short version of utilitarianism. And so if you take the trolley problem, which you should be learning about this week if you actually read the material, and that trolley is going down the tracks and you've got to pull the switch. You either save a group of 7 people or one person that you know and love. Utilitarianism says that you let the person that you know and love get hit by the train and you save the group of 7 people. That's utilitarianism. Now, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's wrong. What we're doing is we're looking at these different ideologies, these different philosophical theories, and we're saying how can these affect how I see good, or how I see a white lie, or how I see decision making. And so really, this is critical thinking at its finest. Learning these different theories will help you in making these decisions using critical thinking skills. So this week, the greatest good for the greatest amount of people would be if everybody did your work, turned it in on time, and did references and citations. Oh, and by the way, a discussion that has 1 or 2 sentences is going to get a bad grade. That's not a discussion. You've got to give me some substantial knowledge in there. If you're giving me just your personal experience, great. What theory are you using this as an example for? What is the definition of that theory? Give a citation. What are some competing theories? Here's some things to think about. And since I don't think anybody else in this classroom has got either their PhD or a Master of Philosophy degree, other than myself, I expect to see a lot more in the way of citations and references. All right. I hope that each of you has a great week. I know that you're capable of doing this. If you have questions, if you have concerns, or if you have issues, please send me an email. I have no problem setting aside some time. My office hours, I don't really have office hours because I'll meet with students whenever they really need to, as long as I'm not in a meeting or giving a lecture at that moment. I'm pretty open. We can meet on Zoom. If you're in the Howell area, I even on my campus twice a week. We can even meet there. I want to see each of you succeed. I believe in you. I know that you can do this. All right. You have a good week too, all right?